De Bruyne's corner. Holland! Goal! It's Mo Salah! It's Mo Salah! Absolutely sensational!
And we're live. Welcome back for another deadline stream. Good morning all. I've seen some people saying, why are you saying good morning? It's night time. Well, good night as well if it's night time where you are. Good afternoon if it's the afternoon where you are. Welcome everyone to another deadline stream. How are we all today? Gameweek 31. We're back already. 8:33 a.m. in Ireland. It's also 8:53 here in England. How are we all today? Did anyone get a green arrow last game week? I got a red arrow on my wildcard. Absolute nightmare. I'm down to about 17k. So I feel like maybe this is wrong, but I feel like I've got more red arrows than greens after activating my wildcard over the years. But anyway, Nat the one got a small red. Luca got a green, very nice. 20 down to 22k. Oh, that's alright. 2k red's not bad, is it? Especially when you're 22k. How are we doing, Caleb? Boofy says, morning Oscar, green arrow for me. Wildcard this week. Yeah, who's on the wildcard this week? Anyone else got the wildcard active? Immortal Technique got a red as well. Small red. I mean, it wasn't huge red arrows, was it? But I think the wildcard template got generally like 48 to 55 points. But obviously people that didn't wildcard in particular still had players like Mbumo. Who am I forgetting? There was quite a few players that people sold on wildcards that did well. Anyway, small red. Let's hope we bounce back with a green this week. It's obviously a single game week, and then we've got the exciting double game week 32, double game week 33, and then blank game week 34. So it's going to be a volatile few weeks. But if you've planned for it, if you've got a few chips in your pocket, then you're in a really good position. What's everyone's chip strategy actually for the next few weeks? Because you've got people going for bench boost 32, right? Some are going 33. Some aren't using it at all. Some are on the assistant manager this week. Some are using the bench boost later in the season. Some are free hitting 34. Some are used to free hitting 29. There's just so many different strategies at play, which I think is a good thing. I think it's great when we're not all on the exact same plan. Myself, anyway. Because, someone's going to come out well ahead if they pick the right strategy. Maybe they won't. Maybe all the strategies will do similarly. Kermie's bench boost in 32. Triple captain 33. Who's your triple captain in 33, Kermie? That's interesting. Because I know a lot of people are looking at Isaac in double game week 32. Junaid's wildcard in right now. Triple captain next week. Bench boost 33. Free hit 34. That is a crazy 4 weeks for you. So you got 4 chips in 4 weeks. Raiden says, yo bro, I need to catch up 40 points. Any different captain options? Yeah, I mean, you could take the chance on Isak starting. I think he's become a bit different, but I'd say Palmer is a solid one. Salah. I mean, let's check the captain widget on the website. What's it saying this week? So Palmer, Solanke and Salah 5 stars. I don't think many people have got Solanke, have they? But they do have Southampton home. And Mbumo 4 stars, home to Chelsea. Yeah, Isak's still there. 3 stars against Leicester. So those are the top 5 on the app. FPL Focal in the App Store if you haven't got it, by the way. Eze or Sarr for the wild card. I'm finding it hard to... Oops, that's the wrong thing. I'm finding it hard to justify starting or justify Eze for the extra price because they're like a million apart, right? And Sarr's underlying numbers have been better as well. In fact, over the last 6 game weeks, Sarr's top among all midfielders for XGI. I believe that is the case. Let's double check that so I'm not lying to you. So we'll go midfielders. Oh, I haven't got last 6 here. Last 5. I mean, last 5 he's top as well. Look, 4.0 XGI over the last 5. What's last 8 like? Salah. Yeah. Sarr's 3rd over the last 8. So yeah, I'm finding it hard to justify Eze over Sarr if you have to pick one. I went for both for my wildcard. I went triple attack. I can't believe that. I was like, there's got to be goals in my team here. At least an assist or 2. They've got Southampton. They've got triple attack. Like, if there's a goal, one of them's got to be involved. And obviously, none of them were. Mateta off before 60 minutes. By the way, huge day yesterday. I'm sure some of you saw it already, but I made my debut on the FPL show, which was honestly surreal. Like, absolute honour to get invited on. And it went really well. I was so nervous before. You know, you try not to get stuck in your own head when you're really nervous, but it went great. And obviously I was there with Harry, which helped because we're good mates in real life. And they said afterwards, actually, interestingly, they were like, oh, it's so much better when we've got 2 guests on, especially when they're like good mates. So yeah, it was nice to be sat there with Harry doing it. And Shearer happened to be doing his own TV show as well. So Shearer was just in the room with us chilling. So it was amazing to meet Shearer as well, shake his hand and yeah, have a bit of a chat with him about obviously the League Cup and all that. But yeah, it was an absolutely class day. So ultimately, it's thanks to you guys for watching these streams and videos. Like, if people weren't watching my stuff, then the channel would never have grown, and obviously that wouldn't have put me on the radar. So ultimately, it's thanks to you guys. So I know someone's going to say in chat, you're welcome, but yeah, thank you very much, guys, for your support to put me in this crazy position as someone, you know, who started out, well, still does, just makes FPL videos in my bedroom, to now be on TV. Like, it's on Sky, it's on BT this morning, but it goes around the world on TV. So very, very surreal day, but absolutely class. Enjoyed every second of it. So yeah, thank you guys. Finn says you're welcome. Yeah, thank you so much, Finn. Joe Antro, thanks for the 21 months, says, morning mate, would you start Semenyo or Mbumo? I would go Mbumo. Yeah, I mean, he's home to Chelsea. I don't think that's bad. He's on pens. Yeah, I think Mbumo. I mean, we had him on the captaincy widget. He was in the top 5 even, so that kind of answers that as well. On FPL.page, he's on 4 stars this week for captaincy. Palmer, Solanke, Salah, 5 stars. So yeah, definitely Mbumo. Good job, thank you. Elstonwick says you're welcome as well. Saki says we did this. Mark says we love you, Focal. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, anyway, absolutely class. Surreal. Aston Villa midfielder or savings? Well, I think you can get the best of both worlds of Rodgers. And Asensio is an interesting one because, am I right in saying he can't play against PSG in the Champions League because he's on loan from them? So he's got to be due a bunch of starts. Jago says we deserve all the credit. Yep, facts. So Asensio is maybe an interesting one, but I would go for Rodgers just because he's the one that starts basically every game. There's only one game all season. Oh, he can still play. He can play. Ah, interesting. Yeah. I mean, even if he couldn't, I'd still rather Rodgers anyway. He's the cheapest. He's the most nailed. 7 goals, 7 assists. I mean, he's low-key been brilliant, hasn't he, for 5 million? Like, we were never going to get another Palmer, but for 5 million, to get 14 returns is really solid. And I'm probably buying Rodgers myself in Gameweek 33. So this is like, I'll roll this week. Assuming no more issues crop up, I can roll again Gameweek 32. And then Gameweek 33, I've got to fix Gabriel, so probably just Saliba. Who are you guys replacing Gabriel with? Is anyone going anyone other than Saliba? It's so boring, isn't it, Saliba? But it was the logical one. Sally says, hello, would you start Savio or Sarr? Oh, Savio or Sarr, that's a tricky one. Probably Sarr. Bit of a coin toss, that. Focal, FPL star, TV star and superstar. Not sure about that, Ash, but thank you. Morning, Dylan. How you doing, mate? Wildcard 31, bench boost 33, free hit 34. Yeah, I think that's probably the most common strategy, but there is a nice spread of strategy. Some people are bench boosting next week. Some people are on the assistant manager. So if anyone's on the assistant manager this week, who have you gone for? Which manager have you gone for? This is from this week's Players to Buy video, which is basically this week's projected points for the managers. But obviously, if you activate it this week, then you may want to, well, you will want to look at who's best for the next 3. Morning, Oscar. Wishing you a good gaming. Love you. Nice to see you again, Senior Lump. Greg E, thanks for the super chat. It says Raya and Rodgers or Martinez and Marino. I would say Ryan Rodgers is quite a bit better. If you're on a wild card, I really like Raya and Martinez as a pairing. Yeah, sorry, Glasner's not here because this week he's not going to be projected to do particularly well against Brighton, I suppose. But yeah, if you're looking for one that's just straight next 3 game weeks, then Glasner will be top of all the managers. This is sorted by this week specifically. So I know some people are going Potter this week because West Ham are home to Bournemouth, right? And Bournemouth are proper out of form. And then switch to whoever. Could be Glasner straight away. Let's see what you guys have said. Which managers are you going for? Oh, there's a lot of Glasners. Glasner, Potter. How are we doing, Wadey? Glasner. I think Glasner makes the most sense because obviously you've got back-to-back double game weeks. That's the schedule now that has been officially confirmed this week. So, or yesterday was it? Yesterday or the day before? Can't remember now. But anyway, it's been confirmed. So that is your schedule for the next 4 game weeks. So double game week 32 for Crystal Palace and Newcastle. And then double game week 33 for Arsenal, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace and Man City. Timber Gang. Yeah, so going back to that question then. Those of you that have got Gabriel, which I know is a lot of you, who are you replacing him with? Are you going straight to Saliba or, I don't know, have you got room for Vardiol or Munoz, something like that? So that was double game week 32 and 33 and blank game week 34. I've tweaked the graphic that Johnny Curry made here, which previously had 33 and 34 in it, but that's now been announced. So I basically just edited his graphic to just give you an up-to-date picture of the run-in. So what's predicted beyond what we know right now. Basically all that's left is a potential double in 36 and a blank in 37. So the FA Cup final clashes with Game Week 37, right? FA Cup final clashes with Game Week 37. So whoever reaches the final can't play that week, and obviously nor can whoever their opponent would have been. So you can see some different odds here for teams that are either in the cup or their opponent in 37 is. There's also potential for the Europa final to cause a blank. So Villa have actually got the best chances of doubling in 36. So this also adds to the appeal of like Martinez, Rodgers, maybe Watkins, but Emery said he's struggling with a knee issue, which I've put in that little team news widget on the left hand side of your screen. I was thinking about going Isaac to Watkins in 33, but I'm going to just see what happens the next couple of weeks. Who else? Spurs, 44% chance. Man City, 37% chance. Bournemouth, 32%. So yeah, we could still go back to the likes of Clivert, Semenyo and these guys. But anyway, we'll talk about that more nearer the time in videos. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. Odin, thanks for the super chat. Says, good morning, brother. Day 3 of hospital for me, and tuning into your streams made me feel a little bit better. Good luck, everyone. I'm glad to have helped make you feel a bit better, Odin. And wish you a speedy recovery, mate. I mean, it always makes you feel better when FPL's back. Before the game week anyway. Like, ask me again on Sunday or Monday after the game week's finished. But yeah, always before the game week's about to start, there's that buzz, isn't there, where you're like, oh yeah, FPL's back, loads of games on, let's go. But yeah, last game week, I had that feeling before and ended up on a little red arrow on the wild card. But right now, yeah, buzzing to have more FPL. Wildcard draft. If I was wildcarding, it would be almost identical to what I've got now, to be honest with you. And this was why I actually didn't bother doing a wildcard video, because I'd probably change like 2 things. I'd have Saliba over Gabriel. There's one change. And if you've only got 1 or 2 transfers, then I'd go Saka over Palmer. Anything else I'd change here? I think that's it. Maybe Konsa over Wan-Bissaka. But obviously that's now double Villa, so you can only have one of Rodgers and Watkins. So it depends if you can see yourself buying both or not. But that would be my wildcard draft, if I'm honest. That's got 0.8 mil on the bank. If you can't afford that, then Martinez down to Areola works. Day 274 of Colin Focal Smexy Geezer. Thank you very much, Will. I'm pretty sure last time was day 274 though, so we're losing track of days now. Morning, James. He says, good luck, everyone. Charlie says, good morning, pal. How do I navigate Game Week 34 without a free hit? And when is best for me to wildcard? Roll until 34, make changes, and then wildcard 35. I think you can wildcard this week and sort of prepare for it. Let's think about this. So yeah, you're gonna have to make some sacrifices somewhere if you've not got your free hit. Let me just double check that's what you said. Without the free hit, yeah. I think João Pedro, because he's got West Ham home in 34. Maybe keep Konate. Who am I going to lose here? I think you're definitely going to not have 11, I would say, in Game Week 34. You're not going to have 11, but I think it's probably worth it. Unless your team's set up already to attack the doubles. If it is, then I would wildcard in 34 or 35. Like, you could wildcard in the blank. What else would I change here? Got to keep Saka. Got to keep Salah. And Bumo. What's Man United's schedule? They've got Wolves home in so maybe a Man United defender. I mean, Dorgu, his stats were amazing last match. Where's he? God, he's at 1 point for the season. Is that right? Well, it's not going to be wrong. Oh yeah, he got -3, didn't he? It'd be something like that. Even though you're not going to have 11 in 34, I think I'd go something like that. I mean, Dorgu, yeah, maybe not. You could, if you've got the money, get someone a bit better than him. So hang on, let's count it up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 players in 34. Plus you'll have a few free transfers. I think I'd go something like that if I was on a wildcard. I mean, maybe you get that number up one more by picking a goalkeeper. I mean, if you've used your bench boost, then obviously pick a backup keeper that plays in 34, like Sells. Something like that if I was on a wildcard, and if I'd used my free hit. So you still got pretty decent coverage of the doubles. It's not going to be as good as others, obviously, but you've got to kind of consider the blank game week as well, which makes it trickier, but I think I'd go like that. I mean, if anyone's on a wild card and they've used your free hit, how close was that to yours? Odin Play says, any news on Isak as well? No, not really. What was it that Hal said? I think he was asked about Isak and Trippier, and he said something like they're just going to have to be assessed. I think he'll be alright. But I think there's a small chance that he's on the bench. Like, he might play Wilson. But it's one of those, it's really hard to assess. Like, if you got him, you definitely play him. He's a bit riskier for captaincy, but I still think he's even okay to captain. You definitely have him on a wild card. You definitely don't sell him. Captain Poll, yeah, let's actually see what people's thoughts are on Isak, if they're sticking with him for captaincy or going elsewhere. So we'll have Salah, we'll have Isak. Who would be number 3? Palmer. Let us know your other, if you vote other on the poll. Poll is up. Yeah, not much news on Isak, unfortunately. As far as I'm aware, and they play on Monday, so we might get further news over the weekend, but that's no help to us because that's after the deadline. Savinho or Evan Nilsson? Probably Evan Nilsson. Other Saka, oh yeah, fair shout. Murphy captain. Marmouche again. Luke Smith says, not allowed Isak, Watkins or Wood to take a risk on. How do you mean not to take a risk on? Isak, yeah, he's fine. Captaincy, debatable. Watkins is a bit risky because Emery says he's managing a knee injury, and in terms of Wood, I think Nuno said he's still being assessed day by day, so I'm not even sure if he'll be involved again this game week either. And Ola Aina, I think he's going to be out for a while, injured as well, so a few problems. Yeah, I mean, if I was wildcarding this week, it would still be the same front three. Mateta, Marmouche, Isak. Mr. F says, welcome back for another stream. Morning, Oscar. Saw you on the FPL show with Harry. Bench 1 of Eze, Sarr and Murphy, and bench 1 of Vardy on Munoz and 8 Nori. Well, I've benched Eze and I've got the same 3, but it really is a coin toss. I don't want to bench Murphy against Leicester because Leicester are just so bad right now. Well, all season, to be honest. Sarr and Eze is genuinely a coin toss. Like, Eze's got some set pieces, Sarr doesn't, but Sarr's underlying numbers have been way better. If we go back to the expected data widget, if we just go midfielders and then look at the last 5 game weeks, look who's top. So I'm finding it really hard to bench Sarr, and he's literally the best midfielder in the league for expected goal involvement over the last 5. Do you know what I mean? I'm just thinking back the data and go Sarr, even though overall Eze's a better footballer, but Sarr right now is putting up the better numbers, more goal threat, if you see what I'm saying. Son or Saka for 1 game week. I mean, if it's 1 game week, I suppose you have to go Son if you're about to wildcard or something, because he's got Southampton home. Like, Saka's not guaranteed to start. Morning, Oscar. How was it meeting Shearer? Oh, unbelievable. By pure luck, he was doing a TV show about the same time as us. And he just walked in and I was like, oh my God, that's Shearer. And he was standing in the doorway and I thought he was just like poking his head in. So I went over and I said, I'd kick myself if I didn't come to say hi, Alan. So I shook his hand. But he was just kind of coming to say hi to everyone and then to sit down in this room. There's like a room where you chill before you go into the room where they actually record the show. And there's a guy who comes over and he asks what you'd like, and he gets you anything you want. So I had like a tea and like a bowl of fruit for breakfast. Yeah, everyone just kind of sits there before they go live, like the producers and stuff. So yeah, Shearer was just sitting there with us, just chatting to everyone. Green room, yeah, that's it. You can tell I'm not experienced with TV, but yeah, green room is what it's called. But yeah, unbelievable, really down to earth guy, Shearer. Edzo, thanks for the 1 year. Let's get the confetti out for the first time on the stream. Thank you very much for the 12 months, Edzo. He says, 1 year of Oscar. Love the content, mate. Thank you very much, Edzo, for your support. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. What's your chip strategy? I'm going to bench boost Gameweek 33, free hit and 34, and that's me. All out of chips after that. The Busted Flush says, do Foden and Isak play? Cheers, Focal. I think Foden does. Like, he got full rest last match. It's the Manchester derby. Leicester was the game where he can get away with rotating a bit. It's the Manchester derby. I think Foden starts. Isak, really 50-50. If I was to guess, I would say he starts, but early sub. Razan says, hey Oscar, start 2 out of Sarr, Murphy, Rashford and Mateta. Quite the bench and headache on this wildcard. I'd probably go Mateta and Murphy. Like Mateta, it does have the penalties, right? And surely his minutes start climbing up slowly. Before 60 last match, let's say more than 60 next, I'd start Mateta and I'd start Murphy. Wouldn't trust Rashford before Champions League. Sarr could hurt you. Maybe he's the one to fear most, but yeah, that's the thing. When you're wildcarding, especially if you're setting up a bench boost, you're naturally going to have these bench and headaches, and I know that's a lot of us this week. People on, you know, like Mateta, Sarr, Eze, Murphy, you know, people have got Foden. Do you start him? Do you back that he starts this one? What do you do with Saka? It's tricky, but that's what I would do. Kay says start Enzo or Bowen. I benched Enzo last game for his 11 pointer, absolutely gutted. So this week, Owen has Bournemouth home. Enzo's got Brentford away. It's one of those, like, the decision made sense, right? They had Wolves. I would have started Bowen 10 times out of 10. I think most people would. As opposed to Enzo against Spurs. And I would start Bowen again. Like, you're going to be even more gutted if you go points chase and you start Enzo, and then this is the week Bowen scores home to an out of form Bournemouth side. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would start Bowen, despite what happened last match. Sorry, that was meant to be who to start out of those three, so Murphy over Rashford. Yeah, sorry, so I'd start Murphy, yeah, over Rashford, and I'd start Mateta. That's right. Yeah, oh, you mean start literally one of them? Oh, God, I think it'd have to be Murphy. I mean, I'd be reluctant to bench Murphy when he's got Leicester. And he's done well against promoted teams, hasn't he? Let's look back. Assist against Southampton. 1 goal, 1 assist against Ipswich. The week before, he got a brace against Leicester in the reverse fixture. Oops, that's crashed. Hopefully I'm still live. I think we are. Yeah. Did he play against any earlier in the season? He was benched in Gameweek 1 against Southampton. God, that feels like a lifetime ago, Gameweek 1. I had Isak in Gameweek 1 and obviously didn't do much at the start of the season. I had captain him, actually. Mickey got an assist and they got a red card, didn't they? Was it Share? Sam Rowe says, on a wild card, for the last defender slot, Milenkovic, Kanate or Porro. I'm aiming to bench boost in 33 and free hit 34 and only 1 transfer banked. Probably Milenkovic now. Definitely not Porro. Porro might not even start. Could be Udogie and Spence again. I'd say Milenkovic because they've got a pretty nice run in as well. I went Kanate last week because it was Everton home and I kind of fancied them for a clean sheet there. But that fixture's gone and I'd probably give Milenkovic the edge now. Starboy McGee, thanks for the 21 months. He says, hi Oscar, play Rodgers or Sarr? I'd play Sarr. Like Villa have got Champions League as well, so this could be one of those games where Rodgers actually comes off much earlier. Might not happen, but I'd play Saar 100%. So captain poll. Wow, have you guys seen the poll results? That's really interesting. I didn't expect that. So you guys aren't put off by the flag. You reckon he starts? 46% Salah, 46% Isak. It's going up and down. It's very close. Now it's 47-45. 46-45. 46-46. And then it's 3% Palmer, 5% other. Wow. Background music's a tad loud. Let me turn it down. Can you still hear it? Hopefully that's better. Opinions on Saka for the next 3 game weeks. I am definitely buying Saka in 33. I think even on a wildcard I'd have him now, even though there's a risk he doesn't start. Unless you've got a bunch of transfers banked, then I'd start with Palmer and then switch to Saka. Otherwise, yeah, I think you just get Saka off the bat and just save yourself a booked-in transfer. Is Gordon starting? The thing is, Howe said he's yet to train, so that's not very reassuring. But Howe's also, I don't know, he's a bit of a liar, isn't he? Or he dodges the truth and talks in tales in his press conference. Oscar is the best FPL content creator. Thanks very much, Villa. I'm not sure if that's true. There's some incredible content creators, but thank you for that. And Miss Palmer Ipswich. Yeah, but right now it's all about, like, I don't know. I feel like you probably want to just avoid the booked-in transfer, but I know what you're saying. Because if you're wildcarding this week, you're going to have triple Newcastle. You're going to want to sell at least one of them in 33, especially if you're bench boosting. So then if you go in Palmer and you're booking in Saka, then you're really running low on transfers. Again, as I say, unless you've got like 3+ transfers, maybe 2, I'd do it as well. But if you're sitting on a wild card and you're going to have 1 transfer after, you're cutting it a bit fine. And things change fast. Like now I've got to sell Gabriel. That's kind of cocked up my plans, that's Gabriel injury. Because one of those moves is going to have to be Gabriel out to bench boost in 33. So then it'll be, what's my other 2 transfers? Well, one of those has to be Palmer to Saka, because I booked that in last week. I didn't expect, or didn't anticipate any injuries, obviously. So that's 2 moves booked in for me. And then it's, what do I do with my third? Probably going to be Murphy to Rodgers. But then, yeah, I would love to have got Watkins for Isak. But maybe I shouldn't do that, given that he's got this knee problem. Maybe that's enough, and I can keep Isak for the running. Unless Villa get the double game week 36, then I could still do that move later, I suppose. How many doublers have you guys got for game week 33? Including bench boost, if that's what you're using. How many players will you have that have got double game week? So for me, right now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, including Gabriel. Plus I'll bring 2 more, so it'll be 11 on the bench boost. So I'm only 1 short, to be fair, of the maximum you can have. I just won't have triple city now. Rajdeep's on 12, Nat the 1, 9, 12, 7, 8, 11 to become 13. How are you getting to 13? Is that including captaincy? 12's the max. There's 4 teams doubling, right? 3 per team, 12 max. I know my maths is usually dodgy in these streams, but I feel like 4 times 3 is 12. 12, 11, 7 to 9. So it's pretty varied. Actually, that'd be a good poll, just to kind of get a feel for it, rather than just reading specifically what you're saying. How many doublers will you have in game week 33? So we'll do... Maybe I'll work backwards, because this is where I'm not good at the maths. 11 to 12. 9... 9 to 10. I think that... Yeah, I guess we'll go with that. 7 to 8. 6 or fewer. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to have 6 or fewer, are they? Like, if you're on Triple Palace, you've already got 3. Yeah, let's go with that. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. Alright, poll is up. Yeah, get your votes in. Let's see. Uriel, thanks for the super chat. Elanga, Bruno, Rogers. Who to drop for Mateta? Probably Rogers out of those. Just because of the Champions League factor, right? I feel like I'd start Elanga. And he's in form, right? To be fair, Rogers, I think he got a couple of assists last match. Benching Eze is mental. Yeah, I know, but who would you bench then, Andy? Would you bench Sarr? I really struggled with benching dilemmas this week. Like I was saying earlier, in terms of expected data, literally no one is better than Sarr over the last 5 game weeks. Surely go all in the bench Murphy. Yeah, but am I really going to bench Murphy against one of the worst teams in the league? Second worst, I guess. I mean, I was going to say Gordon's still a doubt as well, but last match we did still see Murphy come off, didn't we, after like 60 odd minutes for Willock. I mean, he's literally top over the last 5. It seems madness to bench Sarr, so... But Eze's an absolute baller. Like, yeah, it could hurt me doing that, but because he does have the set pieces, and you know, if Mateta comes off early again, then there is that gap where Eze should be on pens. I guess it could be in Nketiah if he's on, but yeah, it's one of those, like, it's going to be obvious in hindsight, but right now, I think it's a genuine coin toss, and I'm just going to hope to get lucky. Specifically, Vague says there's 1,600 people watching, only 200 likes so far. Pull your finger out, people. Pull your finger out. Oh, I could have worded that better, couldn't you? Pull your finger out, people, and hit the like button. Any leaks yet? No, not yet. We'll check it nearer the deadline. G in the chat, he says, hi Focal, almost 4 years subscriber. Would you get Henderson and Livramento or Pope and Munoz on a wild card? I would say Pope and Munoz is a better combination, yeah. Like Henderson and Pope, they'll probably do similarly, but Munoz's goal threat is way superior than Livramento. So, yeah, I would say Munoz, the Munoz one. Is Asensio unreliable? I think he's a little bit risky for minutes. Like, he's an interesting pick for sure. Do Newcastle have better clean sheet odds than Forest? Let's check. Here's your clean sheet odds from 11ify. So, yeah, way better. Arsenal top again, 50%. Do you guys think that Arsenal are going to struggle without Gabriel? Or do you think the impact will be fairly minimal? Here's one like for you, mate. Thank you very much, Vamos. I don't think it's going to have a huge difference myself. Whether it's Kyrgios that comes in, or it could be Timber centre-back, and then White comes in at right-back if he's fit. I don't think the impact will be huge. I do think there'll be a little bit of a drop-off, but not significant. Famous last words now. I'll probably buy Arsenal. Don't keep a single clean sheet, but I still think that Saliba's the best Gabriel replacement. Timber could be an interesting one if White is a problem still around the double game week, but yeah, that's another reason why I'm just going to roll this week, because maybe Timber's an option. I don't think I'd go Kyrgios. I don't see the point. How will the tariffs infect FPL prices? Who went up last night? What were the changes? Oh, there were loads of changes. How many price rises did you guys get? Has anyone just become significantly richer? Did anyone hit 5 or more rises? Saka, Saliba, Marino, Mateta, Munoz, Kanate, Burn, Murphy and Elanga all went up. Gabriel went down. Aina went down. Dango went down, even though he started last match. Who did I have then? I had Mateta, Kanate, Byrne, and Murphy. Just 4 for me. 7 risers. What the hell? Jago had 4. He had 5, but one down. Oh yeah, that's true. I did have Gabriel go down. 6 risers. Damn! Imagine just gaining 0.6 mil overnight. That's crazy. Shame it's not the start of the season where team value's a lot more important, because there's going to be a lot of players now that we have for the rest of the season. That's the thing to remember with price change chasing. Like, it doesn't make a massive difference if you're going to buy someone and you're not going to sell them anyway, because you're never going to get that profit. It's only worth factoring in, like, if it could price you out of some other move. But yeah, loads of changes last night. Taylor says, Soska, my grandma still says she thinks you're cuter than Harry. Thank you very much to your grandma, Taylor. What a legend. Shame it's not real money. I know, if only. Best assistant manager. I think I would use it on Howe or Glasner. Well, these are the fixtures for the next few weeks. I mean, you could go Arteta if you're selling Gabriel, I suppose. Like, that frees up a slot, but is Saliba better and you go elsewhere? Maybe. But I'd probably go Glasner if I was going to go anyone, and just... Maybe the best way of looking at it is, if you're chasing, go Glasner, because you've got City, Newcastle and Arsenal there, which are all table bonus. Brighton and Bournemouth aren't, I believe. So, Glasner if you're chasing. Otherwise, Eddie Howe, Leicester this week, great fixture. And then it's a home double, and then Villa. No table bonus. I mean, you could swap him out in Gameweek 33, couldn't you? So you go Howe to one of the other for that double. That's one option. Yeah, Potter, I mean, if you've got the transfers and you want to go for someone for 1 week, he's home to Bournemouth. Table bonus fixture, yeah. 10 extra points if they win. Oh, I forgot about my tea. I've not drank a sip of this yet. What's the name of the current soundtrack in the background? This is actually on my channel, this one. I forget the name of it. I don't think it's named correctly here. I've like imported it into Spotify. If you go on my channel, you'll see a playlist called Music, and there's a few remixes of the default song that I use in my videos. This is one of those. This one's a Tropical House version, if anyone likes Tropical House. Right, let me catch up with chat. So Mr. F says, hey Oscar, bench 1 of Evanilson or Eze, bench 1 of Vardy, Munoz and 8 Nori. Got Vardy on the bench at the moment. Who have Wolves got? I'd be tempted to start Vardy on, but it's just, does he play in left back this time? Or was it O'Reilly again? He's got Ipswich away. Yeah, I think you've probably got it right there with 8 Nori. Yeah, I actually think I agree with you, yeah. Vardy on the bench, Evanilson or Eze. I'd give Eze the start over Evanilson. That's a coin toss as well. Some really difficult decisions this week that really do seem like coin tosses, and it's hard to advise on. But I think... Have you got like Sarr and Mateta already? Because you could just hedge your bets and go Evanilson. Like, he's got the pens. It's not a bad fixture either. Yeah, no, I'd start Evanilson over Eze, and I'd start Munoz and 8 Nori. I think you've got it just about right there. Mosea says, bench Sarr, Eze or Rodgers. I'd bench Rodgers, Mo, because I mean, he's got a more difficult fixture, plus he's got the Champions League, so that could affect his minutes, it might not, but it's the logical thing to do. Myro says, Solanke in wildcard 31 and a switch to Mateta for the doubles. What are your thoughts? No, I think it's too messy. Don't get me wrong, Solanke could smash it this week, but it's a booked-in transfer for 1 week. I'm not a big fan of that at all. Booking in transfers like that for 1 week. I understand it, but I'd rather just get Mateta. It's not like Brighton home's a terrible fixture either. I suppose if you're literally sitting on 5 free transfers, then why not? But even then, they could come in handy later. Like, I've got a feeling double game week 36 is going to be a tricky one for us, because we're going to be running low on transfers, because we're going to be using a free hit in 34 or using free transfers to get free 34. And then we kind of have to sort our team out coming out of the blank because the doubles are gone. And then we could be throwing this double, well, we will be a double in 36. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, but I just wouldn't be booking in transfers. Those are the odds of teams doubling in 36, just to give you a rough idea of the teams that we might see double there. So I think booking in transfers for a 1 week move isn't worth it. Struggling with this game, says hi Oscar. Savinho, Munoz and Mateta or Konate. Eze and João Pedro or anyone below 6.8 on the wildcard. I have Palmer with the aim to swap for Saka and plan his bench boost 33. I currently have Saliba and Raya. Yeah, Saliba and Raya is great. So Savinho, Munoz and Mateta or Konate. Is this who to start? Or I'd start... Savinho. I'd start with Savinho over Munoz, yeah. And I'd start Mateta over Konate, if that's what you mean. Eze and João Pedro or anyone below 6.8. No, I think those are the right two to go for. I'd go for Sarr over Eze if you haven't got him on the wildcard. I might be misunderstanding what you've asked. Well, if it helps, I was saying if I was on a wildcard, it'd be this. Go Palmer or Saka, depending on your free transfers. I'd be tempted to just get Saka off the bat. It'd basically be that. You could go Konsa over Wan-Bissaka. That would be my wildcard draft. So it's almost the same as last week. And this is why I didn't even bother doing a wildcard video, because it's just the same as last week, basically, minus fixing Gabriel. And maybe you can make the case for Saka more this week. What do you think about Kivior? Yeah, he should start. I'm expecting him to start, but I wouldn't go there unless you're really tight on money. I just wouldn't go there just in case he uses Timber centre-back, White right-back for one game. It could certainly happen. So that'd be my wildcard draft if anyone's got theirs active. If you're tight for money, then you could just go Areola over Martinez, something like that. Oh, sorry, I probably wouldn't have Konate either. Who would I have instead? Maybe like Milenkovic, something like that, because they've got quite nice fixtures coming up for the run-in. Benjamin, thanks for the 16 months. He says 16 months, getting old now. Do I start Munoz or Vardiol? I'd rather start Munoz. Vardiol's so good when he's playing left back, but the problem is they've got all these injuries. Ake's out, Stones is out, Akanji's out. Last match and in the FA Cup we saw Vardiol left centre back, and that meant O'Reilly was the one left back, and he was the one that was getting forward. So Vardiol's just not nearly as good when he's playing in centre back, obviously, for obvious reasons. Whether that happens again, we'll see, because Kuzanov apparently got a rest. The City website said a well-earned rest for Kuzanov. So does he come back in, or does Pep stick with that? It could be Kuzanov back in and Vardiol centre-back, but I think I would just go Munoz right now, if you're picking one to start. Andrew, thanks for the super chat. He says, thoughts on Sun captain? I do get it. But has he not been getting the odd bench in? And have they not got Europa, or is that not this week? Yeah, just those minutes really put me off. If I knew he was playing 90, I'd say he is the perfect differential captain, but the minutes do put me off. And what's the schedule? Yeah, they've got Frankfurt on Thursday, then the Wolves, and then Frankfurt second leg. I think it's just apparent that Postecoglou's absolutely prioritising Europa, and I don't know if that's going to affect his minutes. I think it might be a risk too far to go for Son. So no, I wouldn't personally. And sorry if he hauls, but... Alexander says, wildcard now, even if you don't have the free hit for 34. Yeah, I think that's fine to do. We were looking at a draft earlier if you need help with one. Because you can still kind of set up for blank Gameweek 34 and kind of balance it out with double Gameweek players for 32 and 33. So yeah, I think it's fine to do. You just got to be more careful. You have to go for players like João Pedro and Bumo. Maybe someone like Milenkovic. You just can't go as all in, basically, in double Gameweek players. Why Burn over Livra? No reason really. Burn's slightly better over the season for XGI. He was slightly cheaper. I guess he's got far more goal threat in terms of offset pieces. Scored in the League Cup final, but that was another one that was just a coin toss. I just went with the cheaper player. I was saying last week, like, I don't know where I'm going to need this extra money in the bank, but I might need it. Like, Saliba went up last night, Gabriel went down. And there could be some other price changes that could cause me problems. So I just wanted to leave as much as possible in the bank while getting all the teams covered I want and the defences. Struggling with this game says, the question was which combination would be better? I have Saar, but also a very low team value and I can't afford all of the template wildcard team. Okay, just trying to find the message before. So it was Savinho, Munoz and Konate. Oh, I see. Sorry, I misread it. Savinho, Munoz and Mateta. Savinho, Munoz, Mateta or Konate as a João Pedro. Well, the first one's way better. Konate and João Pedro don't have a double, whereas Munoz and Mateta, the alternative picks, do, plus Savinho does. So definitely the first combination. Yeah, that's way better. Yeah, going double Palace mid is fine as well. Start Gordon or Rodgers. Well, Hal says that Gordon's still not trained yet, so that does put me off playing him. Like, does he come straight in the start 11? I feel like you probably take the chance, don't you? I would take the chance, just based on the fact that Hal's a liar. He's like so untrustworthy in his press conferences that I'd almost disregard what he says actually, and just chase the upside of playing Gordon. So yeah, I'd start Gordon and just hope that he starts. If he doesn't, then so be it. Video and audio is out of sync. Is anyone else getting that issue? It looks alright my side. No dropped frames. Oh, I've been live for almost an hour already. That's flown by. Let me finish up catching up with these questions, and then we'll look at a few bits and bobs. All good for you. All right, perfect. Mark says, hi Focal and fellow Focaliers. Trademark pending. Wildcard 30 was less than optimal, but I'm still better off than from my Gameweek29 squad. So sometimes you have to take the small positive. Good luck this week, everyone. Thanks very much, Mark. Appreciate that. Yeah, and that's I appreciate the positive insight there as well, because yeah, I think for me it was very small gains as well, because I sold Stratton Larson who scored, I sold Mbumo who scored, I sold Colwell who got a clean sheet. There was a few of those that I got rid of that did something, but I think in the end it was slight gains. Gains are gains. Was still a red arrow though, don't get me wrong, but there we go. Mohit says 5 flag players now, so wildcard now. Any Isaac news? I want to keep Wood. I'm also thinking Murphy over Gordon. I've got Savinho, Saka, Salah and Saar. I love your work. Any Isaac news? No, not really. He was asked about him and he just kind of said, I think he said something like he's going to have to be assessed, and the same with Trippier. It didn't sound serious, which is why it's only a yellow flag as well. So you definitely have him on the wildcard, and you definitely start him, in my opinion. Yeah, I'd go Murphy over Gordon. Like, they're 2.4 million apart, or maybe 2.3 now. Did Murphy go up? Yeah. 2.3 million. And they're only like 7 points apart over the season. So I would get Murphy myself, yeah. Also, Gordon's apparently not trained, is what Hal said. Yeah, looks good. I like the midfield. FPL Bateman, Hal said he had some medical reports but didn't read them. Did he actually say that, or he winded me up? Honestly, I just don't trust Hal. Like, if he says Gordon's not trained with the squad yet, Gordon probably starts. Wazza says, I've got my wildcard free hit bench boost and triple captain left. How would you recommend I tackle 32, 33, 34, 36, 37? I'd actually use all 4 in the next 4 weeks. So I'd wildcard now, triple captain Isaac in 32, bench boost 33 and free hit 34. I actually think that's the best way to do it. Is anyone else doing that? 4 chips in 4 weeks? Could be a season defining run that. I'm envious of that run. But yeah, 4 chips in 4 weeks I think is honestly the best way to do it. You have such a radio voice. Thank you. And Freak says, Palmer or Saka on a wild card. If you've got a couple of transfers or so, then I'd start with Palmer. But if you're like on one transfer after your wild card, I would just go Saka off the bat. Because you're going to want to make other moves on the wild card, aren't you? Unless you've used your bench boost already, then maybe you can make the case for just going Palmer regardless. But I feel like if you're going to use your bench boost as well, you're going to want to make transfers in 33. Unless you bench boost in 32. It is tricky. I think I would have Saka, but it also depends if you're bench boosting in 32 or 33. If you're bench boosting in 33, I'd go Saka. If you're bench boosting in 32, Palmer. Yeah, I think it boils down to that. Clean sheet odds. Clean sheet odds, there they are. Arsenal top, then Spurs, Newcastle, Liverpool, Villa and Palace. Should I start Timber? Yeah, if you've got him, start him. Connor says, big up Focal. Why start Mateta over Eze, lad? Oh, honestly, this one's killed me all week. It's really... It's one of those, I think, it's a genuine coin toss. Like, he's got the pens. He should get more minutes, I'd imagine. And he is the striker. But then Eze, like, he's got some set pieces. Sar's got the better underlying numbers of all of them, all 3 of them. No idea how Newcastle haven't got the best clean sheet odds, as Leicester haven't scored in the Premier League since January 26th. Yeah, I think that was the only game in the last 10 that they've scored in as well. Was that the Tottenham game? How would you rank City assets? Marmouche, Vardiol. After that, that's tricky. Savinio, Foden, Edison, perhaps. Alright, let's pull up the scout selection. Let's see who they've gone with. And let us know how many you've got from their team this week. They've gone Pope, Pedro Porro, Munoz, Aït-Nouri, Salah, Saka, Son, Murphy, Isak, Mateta, Strand Larsen. They've gone Potter, assistant manager. How many have you got? So, poll results. How many doublers will you have in 33? The top answer was 11 to 12 with 30%, and then 9 to 10, and then 6 or fewer, and then 7 to 8. 6. Let's count up mine. So I've got Salah, Murphy, Isak, and Mateta. Just 4 for me. They've gone Strand Larsen, so they've finally cursed him. So finally he'll stop scoring. Oh, he's got Ipswich as well. Strand Larsen, man. I absolutely love him, but I can't believe he's carried on scoring after I sold him. But I'm happy for him. Evans got 4. Euro's got 5. 6 this week. Scout is stupid. Free hit every week and assistant manager. I don't get why they've gone Porro. He was benched last match. Are they back in the Porro start? Maybe it'll happen. if Postecoglou is prioritising Europa, maybe it's Udogie and Spence in Europa, or maybe it'd be Spence and Porro. I don't know, but I don't quite get that pick. No, I probably wouldn't captain Son. Are you rolling this week? Yeah, I'm going to roll. I've got Gabriel, but it's probably sensible to roll, because if any of my double game week 32 players get injured this week, then I'm in serious trouble next week with only one free transfer if I buy Saliba now. So, although it's not quite as good, I'm going to play Vardiol and just drop Gabriel to last on the bench. Trippier over Vardiol. I'd rather Vardiol. I mean, Trippier's flagged as well, right? He's going to be assessed. Do you ever play Challenge? I feel like it didn't ever take off. Yeah, I've been entering a team every week. I did miss 1 week, but I'm top 10k in Challenge. Even though I missed a week, yeah, I'm just about top 10k in Challenge. But I'll be honest, I've literally thrown a team together pretty last minute. I don't think many people take it that seriously, do they? Yeah, it never really took off. I wonder if they'll keep it going next season. What do you guys think? Is there a way to check how many are actually entering each week? Because I'm sure it's only like 200,000, if that. Does anyone know how to look at it? Game week? No. There is a way to check it. It'd be interesting to see how many. Let me know in chat. Does anyone know how to look at how many managers have entered each week on Challenge? Because yeah, I feel like it's not getting that many players, is it? Game week? God, I can't remember. I did see it somewhere the other day. I think it was only like 150,000 were entering every week. It slowly dropped over the season. I mean, we are pretty late in the season now. What would your wildcard team be if you used it this week? Thanks for all the tips and knowledge from Daz. Thank you, Daz. Appreciate that. If I was wildcarding this week, this was the team. It does sort of depend on if you got your bench boost or not still, but it'd be roughly this. I mean, you might not want to go triple Palace attack, that's fine. You could go for Munoz over Milenkovic and then go Rodgers instead of Sarr, for example. Go to leagues. I'm in leagues. Where in leagues is it? Previous? Event? Season? Do I have to go into someone's team? Overall? I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult, or am I being stupid? Sorry, so the wildcard, yeah, it'd be along those lines, so... But it does depend on if you're bench boosting or not in 33. You just saw it. Am I being blind? Petition to replace FPL Challenge with Battle. Imagine they did that, Josh. You know what? That would actually be really addictive, though. If you had to claim one player per game week or one per day or something like that. That would get people coming back in every day, wouldn't it? I don't see where it is. Am I going mad? Where am I looking at it? I can see the tables, but where do I see the total number of managers playing? Season? Overall? It says 2 million there, but that's over the whole season, isn't it? There's somewhere you can view how many have entered every game week. Morning, Drawing Dead, how we doing? And check their rank. Go into someone's team and check their rank. Yeah, but that's over the whole season, 2.2 million. but there's somewhere you can view how many events in a specific game week. I'm sure of it. I'm sure I saw that somewhere. I literally cannot remember where I saw it. And no one knows because barely anyone plays it, do they? Click on someone's profile. Hang on, bear with me. It's going to really piss me off if I don't figure this out. Click on someone's profile and then go overall league. Overall league. Yeah, this is the overall league. But where does it say how many entered that week? Game week 30. Where does it say it? Oh, Andreas, what? How many months have you been a member now? Did you just unlock 2 years or 3 years? I forgot about that. I forgot about that little icon I made. If anyone doesn't know, you get a little loyalty badge by your name that changes as time goes on. And Andreas has got my favourite one. I don't even know what you call that design. Right, sorry, let me catch up on chat. So... yeah, Wazza said best wildcard if you had all 4 chips left. So yeah, if I had all 4 chips, it would be... I think it would be that. You wildcard this week, you triple captain Isaac in game week 31. You bench boost... sorry, triple captain Isaac in 32. You bench boost in 33. And you free hit 34. The one that you could change is Milenkovic. Unless you bench boost 32, but then you have to use the triple captain the other week. Maybe not Milenkovic. I mean, I went Konate because he's kind of handy, isn't he, in 33 when he's got Leicester. Maybe that. If I had all 4 chips. Evan says, alright, I just got it finally. Go to profile, scroll down to entire history. Where's my... oh, manager profile. Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, last game, 182,000 entered. Game week 1, it was 1.1 million. So, yeah, it's just slowly going down over the season. 182,000. I mean, it's not bad, is it? But it's not great. It's almost a tenth of the player base. Andrea says, big number, 38 months. Look at that loyalty badge as well. That is class. That's my favourite one, in fact. I don't even know if there is one after that. You might have the highest one. I'll have to check. 180k out of nearly 12 million is wild. Yeah, exactly. It's not great, is it? But what can they do differently? Is it just a problem with the game, or they're not marketed well enough? 2%, is it? Oh, is it 2%? Oh, yeah, it is. God. I was thinking 10%. Yeah, it's like 1 to 2%. Yeah, that's not much uptake, is it? 2%. I mean, if they really wanted to get people to play it, it should be a bit more in your face on this page, shouldn't it? But I don't think people would appreciate that. Sorry, going on tangents. 1 sec, Koreshi. So yeah, that was the wild card of all 4 chips to Wazza. Koreshi says, plan is to bench boost 33. When and who do I use the triple captain on? I think Isak's the obvious one. It's got to be Isak. Like, you could wait till 36 and hope City reach the final and hope Haaland's available, but it's just too risky. I would just use it on Isak in game week 32. It is a home double as well. Man United home, Crystal Palace home. That's what I would do. R says, thoughts on Barnes over Murphy, and is Gordon a swerve? Yeah, well, based on what Howe said, I'd say Gordon's a swerve, because Howe says he's not trained yet. So if that's anything to go by, I would say Murphy's the best one. Barnes is most effective in left wing as well, so I'd actually say he's competing with Gordon more than Murphy. Like, he's having a great season, his best season ever, really, isn't he? Like, he's a decent right winger, and Barnes is his best position is left wing, so I think Murphy is actually the best pick, and he's the cheapest. So yeah, Murphy. Nicholas says, Isak captain, have a nice weekend, Focal. Thanks very much. In terms of captaincy, I had him captain initially, but I don't know. Does he definitely start? I don't like that slight doubt, and that's just nudged me into going for Salah. But I think Palmer's good, Marmoush is good. If Isak starts, he's the best captain this week. But if he starts and plays like 60 minutes, then it's debatable. I'd rather Salah, who should get 80 to 90. But I don't hate it. DVC says, you're a legend. Please live 300 years. To be honest with you, we're not that far off probably uploading consciousness, so you can you get focal content forever. I wonder if the Premier League's still going in 300 years and what it will look like, and if they changed anything. Probably by then they've worked out a way to add power-ups to humans. You know, like in Mario Kart, where you pick up a golden mushroom and you dash around. They've probably, by 300 years from now, they've probably worked out a way to engineer the human body to have power-ups, and players can use them one per game. Super sprint past the defender. Something like that. 2 footballs power up. There's 2 balls at the same time for 1 minute. Imagine that. Game's gone. What? Oh god, that was a mad tangent. That. I wonder if. Yeah. I wonder what. Do you think anything will be different? The Premier League 300 years from now. 300 years. Hal will still not give team news. I can guarantee you that. I can promise you that he won't give us team news in 300 years. Still won't. What else will be different? Maybe in 300 years, when the ball's out of play, the clock stops and every half is 30 minutes. I mean, people are asking for that now. Hopefully it doesn't take 300 years. Would that be an improvement? Probably. Well, no, sorry, 45 minutes halves, but when the ball is out of play or not active, then you pause the clock. So the clock stops at exactly 45 minutes. 1 week Spurs punt against South. What do you mean stop yapping? Who are you telling to stop yapping? You're on my stream. Stop yapping. 1 week Spurs punt against Southampton. I don't even know who there is. Solanke, I suppose. So stop yapping. Outrageous thing to comment. That is funny though. Fair play. Greetings from Kenya. Good morning, Morgan. Son, maybe. Spurs finally win the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what teams are even in the Prem by now. In 300 years. In 300 years, it'll be Quidditch. 300 years and Focal's still yapping. Focal, I could listen to you yap all day. More yapping. I hate time wasting in football. Card players for more than one obvious delay, and that'll be that. No more time wasting. What they are thinking of doing is, I can't remember the exact threshold, but if a keeper has the ball in his hands for too long, then it's a corner for the opposite team. And obviously we see that every game, every week, don't we? The keeper has the ball in his hand for like 15 seconds before he kicks it. They're thinking about a rule. They might have even trialled it, where if he goes over the threshold, the ref blows corner to the opposite team. So that stops keepers taking the piss, keeping the ball in their hand. Paredes says, activating the assistant manager. I'm chasing, but Glasner seems way too risky. I'm going Frank in 31 and then replan. Any recommendations, Focal? Gabriel stays on the bench at the moment. Eze, Semenyo, Sal, Murphy, bench 1, and Mateta. I like Potter more than Frank, personally. I just wonder if Chelsea are on the up with Jackson and Madueke back. You could just see how much Chelsea have missed Jackson last match. He was such a problem for the Spurs defenders, wasn't he? They were bouncing off him at one point. He's an absolute menace. Love the background music. This is the one that I made. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. Do Brentford beat Chelsea? Or do West Ham beat Bournemouth? Without Cliver as well. And maybe other players flagged. I think Potter might be better. I was picking one. Well, these are the manager projections if you want to go off what FPL Review's saying. It's super close in fairness. Glasner, yeah, I think Glasner because of the back-to-back doubles is great, but if you just want to play it safe, then go Hal or go Arteta, especially if you're selling Gabriel. Right, who's the top scorer of this game week then? One person got it last week. I've forgotten the name, but one person got Asensio. CC says, Oscar, did Shearer ask for your signature? He did. I had to say to him, sorry, I'm really sorry, Alan, but no photos, no signatures. I'm working today. He understood. Isaac, Mateta, Palmer, Sessegnon. New tagline, welcome back for more yapping. Murphy. Oh, man, if it's Murphy, I'll be so happy. Are you going to transfer out Gabriel? Nah, not this week. I'm just going to roll. Eze, Dibbling, and Boomo. Toffolo. That's a name I've not heard in a while. Watkins. Gordon hat-trick. Honestly, if he starts after Hal says he's not even trained yet. Solanke. Solanke's a good shout. I'm gonna go. Yeah, Solanke as well. I'll go Solanke. Hakuna Mateta, Saka hat-trick. Marmoush, Son. I'd be happy with Marmoush as well. Right. Bertman says, just got here. Welcome, Bertman. Better late than never. You're here for the second hour, or just under. He says, bench one of Eze, Sarr, Foden and Rodgers. I'd probably bench Rodgers because of the Champions League, and like Forest, that's got to be the toughest fixture, hasn't it? I'd say Rodgers to bench, start Eze, Sarr and Foden. I think Foden probably starts after the benching against Leicester. There's been reports that he's struggling with mental fatigue and stuff this season. And then, yeah, we saw him benched immediately after against Leicester. It wasn't the first time it was reported, to be fair, but I did see it doing the rounds again last game week before the game. Manchester Derby, I think he starts. Eze and Sarr certainly should. I'd bench Rodgers. Nick says, is the bench right? He's starting Ryan Livramento, Saliba, Munoz, Sarr, Saka, Mo, Murphy, Isaac, Marmoush, Mateta, and the bench is Martinez, Savinho, Vardio and Kanate. Yep. Looks perfect to me. I mean, it's a really strong bench. Like, you're probably going to have some bench pain, Nick, but that's the 11 I would pick as well. I would agree with you. I was saying earlier, Nick, this is the thing, like when you're setting up for a bench boost, you just inevitably have massive benching headaches before and after the bench boost. And that's, I think, a lot of us right now, myself included with Eze. Any Arsenal leaks? Not sure if we've had anything. Let me go have a check. Oh, we've got 2,000 watching. Thank you all for being here. Do hit like if you've enjoyed the stream so far. It's been a good stream. Just under an hour left, or 50 mins. And make sure you subscribe as well if you're not. It's completely free. No leaks. I'll keep checking it. Oh, was that DM? What did that say? No, nothing of relevance. Right. Butter Knight says, any news on Isaac, Wood, Cliver, etc.? Yeah, Isaac's going to be assessed. I think he's got a decent chance of playing. Wood and Cliver, less so. I think Nuno said with Wood, he's still being assessed day by day, so that doesn't sound very promising. And Cliver, it sounds like is a doubt as well. I forget exactly what was said on Cliver, but it sounds like he's a big doubt for 31 as well. So yeah, Isaac's the one I'd expect to have a good chance of being involved. Probably starts. The other two may miss out again. To the Moon United, Elanga or Sarr? I would go Sarr between those two. Pretty close, but I'd say Sarr makes a bit more sense to me. I mean, he's got the home fixture. He's his underlying numbers are better over the last 5 or so. Is the FPL cartel still up and running? I couldn't tell you, to be fair. I never got the invite to the group chat. I said to them, oh, can you not let me in this group chat, please? But they just left me in red. So I don't even know. I think it's still going, but I think they're laying low, because obviously the cartel got in a lot of trouble earlier in the season, didn't they? Because they were keeping the leaks to themselves. They were selling Saka for Son, and obviously I kept Saka that week when he didn't play. Yeah, there's been a few moments this season which I think are evidence that I'm just not in the cartel. So, yeah, I'm an honest content creator. Don't know. I reckon the cartel's still around. They're just lying low. Because you're the admin. I am not the admin of the cartel. The cartel is ready to pounce in Gameweek 1 next season. God, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh man, that was awful. Remember when there was the last minute leak about Gabriel being benched? Was that last season or the year before? And I didn't know about that one either. I started Gabriel, and he didn't start for like 3 or 4 game weeks. And I remember Saliba getting an assist as well in the opening few weeks. God, that was absolutely brutal, that one. It might have been the year before. I actually can't remember. They will never invite the FPL police to the FPL cartel. Absolutely not. The police get involved with the cartel, it's over. Focal, you need to advocate for us commoners. We're all commoners here. Set up your own cartel. Hey, maybe all of you guys, you want to join my cartel? Imagine a backlash if I made my own cartel and exclusively leaked stuff in these streams. One of Saliba or Konate. I'd go Saliba, Cheryl. Better clean sheet odds. Greetings from Uganda. Morning, Matthew. How we doing? Right, let me keep going through chat. So, Saki said bench 1 out of Murphy, Sarr, Marmoush and Foden. Hate this. God, yeah, that's tricky. It's Sarr or Foden, I would say. It's between those. Yeah, that is brutal, that one. I wouldn't bench Murphy against Leicester. You can't bench Marmoush. Should be on pens. Sarr versus Foden. Maybe start Sarr, bench Foden. Yeah. Very, very close, that one. But I'd say... No, I'd start Foden over Sarr, I think. I'm expecting Foden to start, and I think with that in mind, you got to start him. Foden over Sarr. R says, I'm planning to use my assistant manager on Glasner with 32 thoughts. Yeah, if I still had the chip, I think I would probably go Glasner and just chase the table bonus. And obviously, Glasner's got more fixtures than anyone. So yeah, I'd agree with that. There's a few options. Obviously, we've got doubles for Arsenal, Villa and Man City coming up. But I think Glasner makes the most sense. There's the table bonus plus an extra fixture over the others. Bench 1, Yamay says, bench 1 for Murphy, Mateta, Bowen and Bumo. I need to start Murphy because the captain is Mo. I'm thinking to bench Bowen or Mateta. What do you think? I would say, yeah, it's between Bowen and Bumo, and I'd probably bench Bowen, yeah. I would agree with that. A lot of benching nightmares this week. Alpine, thanks for the super chat as well. Appreciate that. No message with it, but thank you, Alpine. Yeah, I'd bench Bowen there. Butter Knight says, best replacements for Wood, Cliver and Gabriel. Having a nightmare. So for Wood, well, it's only this front 3 if you can get to them. So Mateta, Marmoush, Isak. Whoever you don't have, I would prioritise them. Cliver replacements, Eze, Sarr, Rogers. If I was ranking them, Sarr, Eze, Rogers. Whoever you haven't got there. Gabriel replacements, Saliba, Vardy, Munoz. Dr. Yazan says, I hope you're well. Start Burn or Conser? I would start Burn. Better clean sheet odds. Conser's got Champions League coming up as well, so they might have one eye on that. Might be a bit of rotation, maybe not. Simon says, hi Oscar. Remember I asked you a few weeks ago if you'd ever been on live TV? Oh, you did, didn't you? Would you ever prefer Solanke or Strand Larsen this game week? Would you prefer Solanke? Well, Solanke because he's got Southampton home. Has to be Solanke with that fixture. Funny you asked that, Simon, because yeah, now I have. If anyone missed it, I was talking about this at the very start of the stream. I went on the FPL show yesterday. I was on TV making my debut on the FPL show, and it was absolutely class. I had so much fun. It's very surreal to go from making a bunch of FPL videos in my bedroom to getting invited to Stockley Park. I went past the VAR room as well. I wanted to get footage of it, but there was people walking up and down the hallways. I really wanted to get like some footage through the window of VAR, but there were people in there and there was people walking up and down, so they might have thought like, what the hell is this guy doing, just standing there videoing a room. Daz says, what do you think of bench boost Gameweek 32 with Verbruggen, Rodgers, Konsa and Saliba on the bench, Munoz in defence, no Eze? What do you think? What do you plan for the bench boost in Gameweek 33? Yeah, I think that makes sense. But it seems a shame when you've got Rodgers and Konsa and Saliba doubling in 33. That's surely better to use it then. Surely better to use it then. I know for Verbruggen, has he got Leicester in 32? I don't see why you don't bench boost in 33. You can have 3 extra fixtures on your bench. I'm using it in 33 anyway for that reason, because I've got Martinez. Like, I could use it in 32. He's got Southampton, but he's got double in 33. You know, I could add Rodgers for Murphy. I could add... Well, I'm going to have to replace Gabriel. I would use it in 33, Daz. As seen yapping on TV. Did you get Harry's autograph? No, I asked him, but he told me to piss off. Yeah, he's really rude in real life. No, it was really good to do it with Harry, actually, because we're really good mates in real life. Like, we chat every day. I'm hoping to be at his wedding, but I've had an absolute mare. I'm going to see Oasis the day before, and it's in Manchester as well, so I have to go up to Manchester, go to Oasis, get up at like, you know, the crack of dawn, 7, 8 a.m. on a hangover, get the train back down to London, drive for 2 hours to Harry's wedding. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might just have to not have a drink at Oasis or something, or have one. Plot twist, Oscar's married Harry. Yeah. How did you know? I don't know what the solution is. I can't miss Oasis. I can't miss the reunion. Tickets weren't cheap either. I think I'm just going to have to suffer. I might miss the ceremony as well. I don't know. Stop crying your heart out. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just going to have to suffer through it. Fly back. Can you fly? Manchester? I guess you must be able to. Walter says, morning Oscar, thoughts on Trippier over Burn and Share? Yeah, I think he's an interesting option, but he is flagged now, isn't he? So I would just go for Share or Burn, personally, over Trippier. Just because of that flag. First world problems. It is proper first world problem. Like, oh no, I've got to go to Oasis to a wedding the next day. My life is so difficult. How do I do this? It's a nice problem to have, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do both back to back. Don't look back in anger. I'd go Burn or Share, Walter. Just feels like Trippier, he is an interesting one. Probably the likeliest to get your return, but he is, to be fair, on the decline, isn't he? And with the greatest respect, like he was world class on his day, but I think Burn and Share just feels safer. Plus, he's flagged, so Harry can wait. Oh dear. Any wildcard drafts? Yeah, if I was wildcarding, it'd be something along these lines with a bench boost in 33. Figure it out little by little. Ross is going as well, so that's going to be good fun. And we're bringing the girlfriends, so hopefully they all get along, meeting for the first time. You and Harry should do a collab next year where whoever scores the lowest each week has to do a forfeit, give the fans what they want. I've actually thought about this. I have thought about it, but I've been thinking about doing a video about forfeits, and I looked up FPL forfeits on TikTok, sorry, and it immediately put me off. I mean, I guess we can choose the forfeits, but the ones on TikTok are like way better than anything that I would do myself. Like, some of them are horrendous. Like, one of them, I can't believe they covered themselves in peanut butter in their car, like head to toe. Their entire body was peanut butter, and they were like singing a song with like socks on their ears or something. I was like, I can't beat this. Like, I cannot possibly top these forfeits. Some were just a bit embarrassing, like someone went carol singing Christmas songs, knocking on random doors, you know, in like October last year. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what forfeits we could come up with. I'll have to think about that one. Could be an interesting one. Anyway, sorry, let me catch up with these chats here. Where did I get to? Yeah, so I was talking to Walter about Newcastle defender. Struggling with this game, said start Sarr and Munoz or Savinho and Vardio. Sarr, Munoz, Savinho, Vardio. I'd start Sarr and Munoz this week. Yeah, the first combination is better, I'd say, this week. I really hope Vardio's left back, but if he's left centre back again, then it's not great for his goal threat. You're just counting on set pieces then, really. It's left back Vardio that we love. Mark says, which 5 to start? From Saka, Murphy, Elanga, Sarr, Isak, Mateta. Which 2 to start? From Munoz, Kirkes, Milenkovic. Always a great stream, thanks. Thank you, Mark. Which 5 to start? Well, Isak, Mateta, Murphy I'd start. Who does that leave? So Isak, Mateta, Murphy. So you've got 6 players there, is that right? So I'd start Saka, Murphy, Sarr, Isak, Mateta. So Elanga misses out, I would say. Which 2 to start? Munoz, I would start. Milenkovic has got Villa. Kirkes has got West Ham, is it? I'd go Kirkes, yeah. Munoz and Kirkes. So Milenkovic and Elanga miss out, basically. John, thanks for the 16 months. He says, which 2 to play of Sarr, Rogers, Kirkes or Murphy? Murphy and Sarr. Kirkes, he's away at West Ham, right? Rogers, he's got the Champions League coming up. He's got Forest. I would say Sarr and Murphy. Fudgy says, hold Bruno or get Saka. I fancy Bruno against City. Yeah, I don't think you have to rush to make that move. Like we saw him bench last match. Does he start again? I think it's 50-50 again. If I had to guess, I'd say he starts, but could come off early again. Almost certainly does come off early if he starts. So, yeah, if you fancy Bruno for the derby, no rush. Stevie Boy says, bench 1 from Foden, Murphy or Sarr. I think it'd have to be Sarr out of those 3. I think Foden starts for the Manchester derby. He got the rest against Leicester. I'd start Foden, and you've got to play Murphy against Leicester, haven't you? Ben Oakley says, I've got Raya, Munoz, Kvyat, Burn, Palmer, Murphy, Sarr, Salah, Mateta, Marmoush, Isak, and you've got Martinez, Savinho, Vardy or Cons from the bench. Currently, what would you do? Is this your wild card? Can you not afford Saliba over Kvyat just to be safe? That's really my only worry, but if you're really tight for money, then that's fine. It's a really nice draft. I wouldn't change anything. I mean, my team is basically identical to yours, so no, it looks good. If you haven't got the money, then I'm guessing you don't, Ben. Otherwise, I'm sure you would have gone Saliba. No, it looks good. Lovely draft. Jay, thanks for the 5 months. He says start 1 out of Munoz or Burn. Bin the wedding, too tiring. I can't bin the wedding, surely. At the moment, I have said I probably won't make it, but I'm gonna figure it out. I might just have to man up really and just get the train back down hungover and then drive. I mean, I did say the girlfriends are coming, so I could at least ask her to drive, and I just have to worry about the train back down and getting up really early. But anyway, what was the question? Munoz or Burn? I actually think Burn, just because Leicester have scored in one of their last 10 games, right? And Bateman was saying that was January 26th. So what's that? A few months since they've scored. And it's one game in their last 10 they've scored in. I feel like you just back the clean sheet, even though Munoz has got more goal threat, but he's got Brighton. And I mentioned in my videos this week, no team has conceded more headed goal attempts than Leicester, so that's clearly a weakness. So I'd actually chuck Burn him. Arik says, start Rodgers or Murphy. I would go Murphy against that Leicester side. You know, way better fixture. Rodgers has got Champions League coming up. I just think that makes more sense. Crispy Bacon, so what to do with Foden? Sell or keep? 1.7 million. I would keep him. I think he starts this week after the rest against Leicester, Chris. I'd keep him. I'd start him if I had him. Bertman says, start which three? Burnley, Livramento, Vardy, and Saliba. I would go double Newcastle defence and Saliba and bench Vardy and just hope that we see centre-back Vardy again. Zoro, a few people actually, Zoro Anzine saying Waneri. I think it's really 50-50. I think if I had to guess, I'd say Saka starts. I've not checked for leaks, but I don't know if we'll get anything. What's the account on Instagram? Is it Leak Lineups? Yeah. But last week they posted about Saka like a minute before the deadline. Right, let me go back over here. 2,300 tuned in. Thank you all for being here. Hope you've enjoyed this deadline stream. If you have, drop a like on it. Make sure you subscribe. We've got about half an hour to go, so let's keep going. Han Joe says, Kluivert, Gabriel, Fabianski, Gordon, Livra, Raya, -4. I think I'd go Murphy over Gordon. But just purely based on the fact that Hal says Gordon's still not trained with the team. So I feel like it's probably too risky to go for him based on that. And obviously Hal, like, you can't really trust what he says in his deadline streams, in his press conferences. But I'd probably go for Murphy. And to be fair, like, Murphy's only scored 7 fewer points and he's like 2.3 million cheaper. So I would say Murphy. Best chip strategy if you still got the assistant manager and bench boost. Well, there's only 2 ways you can do it. Option 1 is the assistant manager right now, and you get the upcoming doubles. Option 2, and this might be better if you've got a really good bench lined up for 32 or 33, is you bench boost one of those and use the assistant manager a bit later in the season. Those are the percentage chances of teams doubling 36. So it is just going to be the 1 week later in the season that you could have an assistant manager that doubles, whereas obviously right now the appeal is there's 2, because Newcastle and Palace doubling 32, and then 4 teams doubling 33. Mahali says bench 1 of Burn, Munoz, Vardio and play Eze/Savinho. I would bench Vardio out of those 3 and Eze versus Savinho. I'd probably start Eze over Savinho. Craig Hope said, I think Isak will be fine. That's interesting. Has he just said that? Oh, God, I don't want to deal with last minute captaincy decisions. Let's see. For the FPLers in my DMs and asking in comments, yes, I think Isak will be fine. Oh, maybe I change captaincy then. Is anyone changing captaincy based on that, or are you leaving it on whoever you went with? Do I change captain now based on that? I think I'm going to leave it on Salah. God, it's tempting to change it now based on that. How many minutes does he get? Do you reckon he gets 90 though? Because that's also a factor. Like, if it's Isak with 75 minutes versus Salah with 90. Let's do a captain poll. See if anyone's changing their captain based on that. So we go, who's your captain? Salah, Isak, Palmer and other. So let us know who your other is. Yeah, that's a bit of a curveball, that, because if he starts and it's Leicester, I feel like everyone's turned their back on Salah, but like, what's he blanked about once in his last 9 games or something? Like, he did have a really poor game against Everton. It was, to be fair, the Merseyside derby. They can be cagey games. Oh, but if Isak starts against Leicester. Also, what does fine mean? Like, does that mean fine he definitely starts, or fine like he's escaped injury and Howe might still want to use Wilson up top, for example? I think if I was to guess, he probably does start Isak. Yeah, I might regret not changing my decision last minute, but if I go on my historic record, historically speaking, last minute changes have, I feel like, cost me more than helped me. Who do you reckon the most transferred in player is this week? Who's the guy that made that tweet? Craig Hope. I think he writes for the Daily Mail. Leicester have conceded 102 shots in the last 7 games. 12.6 expected goals conceded. 18 conceded. Saka, Barco, Saka, Saliba. Let's have a look. There it is, Saka. Oh, 841,000. That's mad. Sorry to say this to any Saka owners, but I hope he's benched again because I don't have him. Saliba second, Marmoush, Milenkovic, Murphy, Mateta, Elanga, Munoz, Vardiel, Isak. So yeah, people are still buying Isak back. Byrne, Rodgers. Who's the most sold then? Oh yeah, Cliver. 1.1 million. 1.1 million have sold Gabriel as well. And then Wood, Aina, Trent, Palmer and Bumo. Haaland. Palmer, that's crazy. I feel like you got to keep Palmer if you've got him right now. Especially with Ipswich home coming up. Do I stick with Salah? I feel like I probably will. It's really hard to assess this one. Because he said he should be fine. So he should start. But it's just that slight doubt. Is it worth taking that risk? Or what if he comes off early? 90 minutes of Salah is probably better than 70 of Isak against Leicester. Would you agree with that, or is that a bad assessment? I'll vice captain him for sure. I'm reassured enough to do that, but I'm not sure about switching captaincy. Fulham's a good team. They are. What's Salah's record against Fulham, I wonder? I mean, obviously it's a different system and manager, Last season he got an assist. Sorry, that was this season he got an assist. Last season he just got one assist across the 2 games. 22-23 scored in both games. 2021 he got 1 goal and blanked in the other one. So he's played them 9 times and he's got 4 goals, 2 assists. It's not great, is it? I might change captaincy. And Liverpool are almost at the point now where they've got it wrapped up, haven't they? Leicester are 4th worst for expected goals conceded at home. Fulham are 4th best. This could be awful if it goes wrong. Because, like, imagine if he's benched and he gets a 1-pointer or something like that. And Salah's going to be like 160, 170% EO, isn't he? Why pick Burn with 8 yellow cards over Livramento? Well, he needs to just avoid a yellow card against Leicester, and he'll make it through the double game week without a yellow card suspension. I mean, surely, I just think what's likelier, like Newcastle should batter Leicester. And they only conceded 2 to City, but I mean, Marmoush took 9 shots against Leicester. 9. Oh God, it's really hard. I do think Isak definitely comes off early. He does come off early though, doesn't he? It's going to be one of those where Howe's going to be a couple of goals up. He can definitely manage his minutes. And obviously give the likes of Wilson a run out. And they could probably press on and keep scoring. Let me see the exact wording of that tweet again. What was it he said? List. I've lost it now. Craig. For all the FPLers in my DMs and asking in comments, yes, I think Isak will be fine. He says he thinks he'll be fine. I might just go boring and put it on Salah. Oh God, I hate it when there's last minute decisions in a deadline stream. Let's see what the captain poll results are saying. 52% Isak, 41% Salah, 3% Palmer, 4% other. Right, let me catch up on super chats as well. It's just the one. Mahali said bench 1 of Burn, Munoz, Vardy and play Eze / Savini. I think I did this actually, yeah. I'd start Burn and Munoz and I'd play Eze. Mbov says bench 1 Sarr or Foden, bench 1 Vardy or Timber. I'd start Foden and I'd start Timber. Sarr or Foden I feel like super close, but Foden, he should start after that bench in my opinion. And I'd start Timber. Best clean sheet odds this week. Wacker says play 1 out of Mateta, Munoz, Enzo, Elanga and Milenkovic. Play 1? It has to be Mateta. He's the highest upside of everyone in that list, so Mateta. Oscar says, would you start Livramento, Vardy or Munoz? I would go Livramento. Best clean sheet odds of the 3. Superfly says, I'm level with my mini league leader. Should I captain Isak? I think he'll do the same. Well, if you're level, aren't you looking for a way to pull ahead rather than thinking about what they're doing? Just go with your gut. What's the latest on the cartel chat? The latest is I still can't decide my captain with 20 minutes till deadline. I think the smart thing to do is just leave it on Salah. It's really difficult as well because Trent is such a huge loss, isn't he? Like we've seen time and again, Trent pinging those balls over the top to Salah, and he is a massive loss. I think I'm going to go Isak. This is an absolute nightmare. I might just flip a coin. This feels like one of those weeks where there's a few 50-50s like captaincy, who to bench, Eze, Sarr, Murphy, Mateta, and it could go spectacularly wrong. I mean, he's on record-breaking pace this season. He's already set the new all-time record for points. Am I overthinking it? Surely you just go Salah and just leave it. Best wildcard team. This was the wildcard draft earlier. If anyone's got theirs active, this was the draft I came up with. The plan with this one is to bench boost in 33. It's really close though. 51% Isak, 41% Salah, 3% Palmer, 4% other. Who was everyone's other? Nikhil says pick 2 out of Sarr, Mateta and Savinho. I think I'd start the Palace duo here actually. I'd start Sarr, start Mateta, and I think I'd bench Savinho. I think you have to start Mateta even though he's looked a bit off it since coming back from that injury. Obviously he has to wear this head protection, still getting up to speed. I think his minutes will increase by game. On pens, I think you have to start Mateta. I think Sarr is just ahead of Savinho. Yet another first world problem, who to captain in FPL. It really is. Shall I stick a poll up on Twitter as well? See if they are thinking any differently. Who's your captain? Isak, Salah, Palmer and other. And that's going to be a 17-minute poll till the deadline. Archie says bench 1 up Eze, Mateta and Sarr. Well, I've got all 3 of those, and I think it's between Eze and Sarr, and I benched Eze. But I don't feel good about it, and it does feel like it's one of those that could really go wrong. I mean, people are saying Eze captain, so I might be totally off it, but yeah, I started Sarr. At the end of the day, as I was saying earlier, he's literally top in the league. Sorry, top among maybe the league. Definitely among midfielders for XGI over the last 5 game weeks. Yeah, even all positions. I just think it seems mad to bench someone who's literally got the best XGI in the entire league over the last 5 game weeks. Do you know what I mean? I mean, where's Eze on this list? Who's not even on the list. Salah or Isak. I mean, the vice captaincy is definitely not going to Palmer now. It's just which way round to do it. Bench Foden or Sarr? I'd bench Sarr for Foden. Same for Eze. I'd start Foden over Eze. Marmoush, yeah, not a terrible shout. I mean, it's the Manchester derby. Could be a goal fest. Let's just check if there's any other leaks. I say any other, there's not been any. We've got Arsenal the early kickoff, right? So maybe we'll hear something about them, about Saka, for example, but not getting the hopes up. So yeah, Captain Poll results: 52% Isak, 41% Salah, 3% Palmer, 4% other. We'll leave it up till the deadline. So these were the projected points before we went live, but it might be slightly different now if Isak's not flagged. It was Palmer 6.1, Salah 5.9, Solanke 5.9, and Bumo 5.3, Isak 4.9. But that's with the flag on Isak. So it'll look a little bit different now. I'll keep an eye for leaks on Arsenal. Don't believe what you see in chat unless I have verified it, because people might be winding you up. Marcus says, thanks for the 10 months, by the way, Marcus. He says, bench 1 out of Sarr, Elanga and Mateta. Yapping team. I'd start Sarr and Mateta. Yeah, out of those. So Elanga's away at Villa, right? So he's got the away fixture. Sarr and Mateta home to Brighton. I just think that's a little bit better. Savinho or Saka? I think if you got Saka, you got to start him. FPL Gundo says Saka starts. I think he trolls with team use, doesn't he? Pretty sure. I'd be careful. He may well do, but I'd just be careful of who's saying what. Heike says sell Kluivert for Murphy or just start Rodgers. No, I think you got it right there. Yeah, Kluivert to Murphy, bench Rodgers. You may as well do it, because you're going to want him anyway for the double, and he's got Leicester, so bring it forward. Obifuna says Brennan Johnson or Maddison, 1 week punt. 1 week punt. I mean, do either start? I can't say with absolute certainty either do. Why don't you go for someone like Murphy for a 1 week punt? I mean, Johnson probably starts. It's really hard to say though, because his minutes have been all over the place. I probably wouldn't go there. There's definitely Hall potential, but I don't think I'd go there for a 1 week punt. I'd look elsewhere. Or just not take the 1 week punt and save yourself a transfer now that you can carry them over into a chip. Marcus, thanks for the 32 months. He says bench 2 out of Canate, Savinho, Sarr, Eze, Murphy, Vardio and Livramento. So I would bench Vardio and I'd... Wait. But does that mean you don't have a defence? Do you need to start all 3 defenders? I'd bench Vardio. I'd rather start Canate and Livramento. And I think Savinho, and I'd start Sarr and Eze home to Brighton. That's what I would do. Mo Omar says, hey Oscar, wildcard 31, Nico and Sarr or Munoz and Elanga. I think Nico and Sarr's better. It's more upside. I just think Palace's fixtures are horrendous, aren't they, from a defensive perspective? Like, how many clean sheets are in there, realistically, when they've got City away, Newcastle away, Bournemouth home, Arsenal away? Like, there could be goals in there, but could there be clean sheets in there? I'd be surprised if there's many. Like, there could be 1 or in the next 3 game weeks. Don't hate the Munoz pick, but I just think Sarr's probably better and more upside. Ayomida, thanks for the super chat as well. Right, let's check what the Twitter poll was saying. I reckon it'll be Isak top. Yeah, it is 60.5% Isak, 31.3% Salah, 3.5% Palmer, 4.3% other. Interesting. I can tell you what reviews update projections are based on if Isak's fine, if some of you would like to know that. So let me change it to fine. And how many minutes do I give him? He's on 76 default. That seems about right. Maybe it's still affecting his flag here. I'm not sure. Availability 1. So he's only on 5.2. Salah and Palmer on 6. Salah and Palmer 6. Isak 5.2. So how does that affect the captaincy widget? Yeah, Palmer, Salah, Solanke top, and Mbumo, Evan Nelson, Isak. I think I'm going to leave it on Salah. Might be a mistake. I just don't have a good track record of making last minute decisions while live, and it's just that like 1 in 10 chance that Wilson still starts. Like we've been here before, haven't we, in past seasons, where Hull's got both available and he's given Wilson a start at some point. Was it last season or the year before? I remember I had Isak in my team. I was already tripled up on Newcastle, and there was no reason for me to swap Isak out. And Wilson absolutely tore it up in a late double game week. I think Isak will start though. But it's just the slight uncertainty makes me think maybe just go Salah. Really tricky one, because Fulham is obviously a tougher fixture. Right, VS says, is it a good idea to get a -4 or even a -8 right now to get Murphy for Clivert and Burn for Hall? Yeah, I think that's fine. It's fine to do this week because they've got a nice fixture, and you're going to want them anyway for the double. Wilson has only started once or sees. I've lost your message. Wilson's only started once this season and has 9 FPL points. True. I didn't know that, but yeah, I still think it's possible, but it should be Isak. Check for leaks. Right, let's have a look. Nothing there. What about over here? Nothing there either. No, nothing at the moment. I'll keep checking it. Let me just get through chat. Where did I get to? Start Munoz or Vardio? I'd go Munoz, Oscar. Yeah, I think it's okay to take the -8 if you've used your wildcard VS to get those double gaming players who've got a nice fixture this week anyway. Wazza says Fleck and Vardy, Howson, Munoz, Rogers, Barnes, Bruno, Salah, Strand Larson, Marmouche, Isak, wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit, and triple captain will decide between 34, 36, 37. Why don't you wildcard now, Wazza? You can use your triple captain on Isak and 32, and bench boost 33, free hit 34. That's what I would do, but if you want to save the triple captain, then yeah, maybe a better option will come later. I just think you could probably improve your starting 11 a little bit, like changing Flecken and Howson out, maybe Bruno out. It's not a bad team at all though, so I think you're fine. Pat says bench 1, Savinho, Sarr, Murphy. I would bench Savinho out of those 3. Timothy says like and subscribe everyone. Palmer with 2 returns for captainship. Let's go. Good luck, Tim, with Palmer captain. He's only on 3% on the poll, 3% other. Check for leaks. We've got 5 mins. I'll keep checking, but I don't know if we'll get anything. But I will keep checking. We don't tend to get anything for Arsenal. That's the problem. If only we did. I'm going to just leave it on Salah. Just save myself. I hate that feeling when you're waiting for a lineup to drop and it's like, do your players start? And this season, I've consciously just picked players that are reliable for minutes. Most of the time. As often as I could, really. One time I didn't do that was Luis Diaz, that comes to mind. And that was when he stopped getting starts. So Salah, we at least know he's going to start. He should play 90. Isak probably play 75. I mean, you guys are in favour of Isak captain, so I could be wrong with this one. Right. What's the latest on Isak? Just woke up from Nigel. Craig Hope said, for those asking, he should be fine. That's all we've got, basically. He should be fine. 75 is enough for Isak, though. Yeah, you're right. But what if there's that tiny chance that it's Wilson? Probably doesn't happen, but what if? What if? I agree, though. I think it's perfectly fine to captain Isak. Dave Jones says, who to bench? Milenkovic, Vardy, Saliba, Burnham, Munoz. I would bench Milenkovic and I would bench Vardy. Start Saliba, Burnham, Munoz. VS says, I've got wildcard 2 left as well. I could also use that, but on the fence about Palace players due to City and Newcastle next game week. Let me just go back up to what you said. Good idea to take a minute. Oh, if you've got your wildcard, activate it. No, use it. Use your wildcard instead, VS. I mean, you've got 3 minutes now, so it's not great. I wouldn't take a -8. If you've got your wildcard, don't take a -8. Use your wildcard right now. See if you can quickly throw together something like this. This was the wildcard team I put together. Bradley Hanna says, went to wildcard. I've got no free hit. Still have the bench boost and triple captain. I have 3 Palace and 2 Newcastle. It's too last minute to do it now. I would wildcard next game week. Yeah, it's too last minute now. Wildcard next game week. Bench boost 33. Wildcard with a team that sets you up for the blank. And then triple captain, double game week 36. Johnny says, I almost forgot to press the wildcard button. Would have been -48. Yeah, if anyone's on a wildcard, double check you've activated the chip. I'm sticking with that. So Salah captain, Isak vice. Hanjo says start Semenyo, Savinho or Bruno. Bruno. No leaks. I'm checking, but there's nothing. I don't recommend anyone sends a super chat because just in case I don't see it while I'm looking for leaks. So I'm rolling this week. That's the plan. Oh God, Oblivious. Wildcard week. Thoughts on benching one of Eze, Sarr and Murphy. I've benched Eze, so I'll do that. Is it done by XGI, I'm guessing? Eze still on pens. The test is on pens. A whirlwind of a week. He's at captain. Good luck. Good luck to you too. Yeah, I've benched Eze just purely because of the XGI. Like, Sarr's top in the entire league over the last 5. So I just feel like just play the underlying numbers. Yeah, it looks like no leaks. So I'm sticking with Salah captain. Sorry to all the messages I missed. I know there's loads of you that ask questions, and I'm really sorry to the messages that I miss. It's difficult to juggle checking leaks, checking news, super chats, following everything that's going on. So sorry everyone if I did miss your messages. For those that have joined late, I've rolled this week. Good luck to everyone, whoever you've gone with for captaincy. It's the calm before the storm. Next week, it's going to be double game week 32, then double game week 33, then we got free hit or blank game week 34. It's okay, 3,000 people watching, you're bound to miss some messages, much love. Jack says good luck to me, good luck all, good luck everyone, says Jan. And that's it, that's the deadline. Transfer rolled. All that yapping, a lot of yapping, I know, right? I know, no leaks is annoying. Yeah, Arsenal seem to really have leaks locked down. Is there anything still? No, it's not any use now, of course. Nothing this week. Right, do you want to do predictions? Your 67k rank. What rank is everyone? How are we doing for rank? Who's got the best rank? What was I going to say? Yeah, so if anyone is about to shoot off, then just hit like on the stream before you go. Make sure you subscribe. 90k, 39k, 1.5k, very nice. Let me take slow mode off, and then we can do the predictions. That fit in? Alright, Everton versus Arsenal. First game today. Get your guesses in the chat. Oh, I didn't take a screenshot of my team, did I? People are going to be pissed at me for that. I try to always share my team on socials before the deadline. Get your predictions in for Everton versus Arsenal while I very quickly post this. Oh, I wrote Gameweek 30. It's Gameweek 31. Let me do that again. Okay, I didn't hit send. Alright, sorted. Let's see what you're saying. 2-0, 1-0, 2-1. You're backing Everton to score. Nigel, thanks for the 90 months. Rodgers or Evan Nilsson? The deadline has passed, Nigel. I would have gone Evan Nilsson. 0-0. Really? Are we going 0-0? A lot of people saying 0-0. In fact, it's Combat Waffle spamming 0-0. I think we're going to go 2-0 Arsenal. No? 0-0? 1-0? God, that'd be a bad result. Palace versus Brighton. Slow mode is off. Get your guesses in the chat. Did it end 0-0 last time? Oh, maybe it will then. Ben White and Timber are both with the Arsenal squad. 2-1 to Palace. No clean sheet. Thanks very much, Jim. Ipswich versus Wolves. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this stream. It's been absolutely class. Ipswich versus Wolves. What are we saying? I know a few of you have got Nori, Strand Larson. It's the last game about Cunha, and then he's back from suspension. 2-0 to Wolves. 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. Alright. West Ham versus Bournemouth. West Ham versus Bournemouth. 1-0. I know some of you have gone Potter, assistant manager. Good luck if that's you. Table bonus fixture as well. Huge points if West Ham can get a result against Bournemouth, who obviously are out of form as well. 2-1 West Ham. Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest. Villa versus Forest. What are we saying? Huge game actually in terms of Champions League places. So yeah, I guess Villa will go full strength, even though they've got the Champions League against PSG to come as well. 2-0 to Villa. It is home as well. 2-0. 1-0. Yeah, it could be a low scoring one because of its importance. Brentford versus Chelsea. Brentford versus Chelsea, what are we saying? 2-1 to Brentford, 2-1. Fulham versus Liverpool, what are we saying? (2-1) to Fulham. 1-1. 2-1 to Liverpool. No clean sheet. Oh god, that'd be annoying if I've got Konate. The king shows us who he really is. Yeah, it's just the week where Salah reminds us, never doubt the Egyptian king, never get fancy. Tottenham versus Southampton. Just a few left to do. 3-0 to Spurs. Manchester United versus Man City, the Manchester derby. Just 2 left to do. Man United v Man City, what are we saying? That's good timing for that background music. Or maybe not because he's injured. 2-2. 2-1 to Man United. What was it last time? 2-1 to United, wasn't it? At the Etihad. Lastly, Leicester versus Newcastle on Monday. Leicester versus Newcastle. Final one. 5-0 Newcastle. 3-0. 4-0. You guys back in the goals. I'm not captaining Isak as well, and his effective ownership is going to be through the roof. 3-0. 4-0. All right. So that wraps up the stream. Thank you everyone for your support. It's been one of my favourite FPL weeks ever. Yesterday there wasn't even any games on, and it was one of my favourite FPL days, going on the FPL show. Entirely thanks to you guys watching these streams and watching my videos. That's the only reason I was ever on their radar to invite me. So yeah, a massive thank you to all of you for your support. These streams, or whether you just watch my videos if you don't normally watch streams, or vice versa, means the world to me. So yeah, thank you for everything. I hope you'll absolutely smash it this game week. Huge green arrows. I hope your captain bags a hat-trick. Nothing else to say really, so we'll leave it at that. Good luck all. Focal out.